right, hello and welcome to a special episode of Scandal Sheet, the cooking edition. So today we are going to be talking a little bit about what to do with your turkey. So first things first, we need a big turkey. So I got this lovely guy. He has been brined and he's all ready. So he is in a dry brine. Just to be able to get some nice moisture out, make sure that the skin gets really nice and crispy, and then of course gets in some extra flavor. So I am a huge fan of brining. So completely up to you. You can either do like a wet brine or a dry brine. I have done both, and I prefer dry brines. So it just has a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, but there are really no hard set rules about it. Now, of course, let's talk a little bit about today's subject, which is, of course, spatchcocking. So for those of you who don't know what spatchcocking is, it basically means when you take out the whole backbone of the turkey, you flatten it out. I am a huge fan of spatchcocking. I spatchcock chicken and turkey when I'm cooking it. And the reason being is it just cooks faster. It helps me get in some marinade in places that I wouldn't normally be able to reach. So definitely recommend it. So before we can get started, it gets pretty messy, so just make sure that you have some parchment paper laid out to make things a little bit easier. And let me just tie my hair. Don't want to get the turkey all over my hair, and I'll be right back. All right, I am back. And so you can use different kinds of knives for this. What I personally like is kind of like a jagged knife. I forgot there is a specific term to this kind of knife, but I forgot what it is. But it's kind of looks like this, and it just kind of really helps, you know, saw down and get whatever you need to get through, because sometimes you are going to have to go a little bit through some bone. So it's nice to have a very strong knife for that. Another great part is that all the gunk and all the blood kind of gets out. I don't want to dump it too much because I feel like, or I don't want to bend it too much because I feel like it might dump out, but you don't want that extra blood and gunk in there, so that it helps to kind of get that out. But let's go ahead and I can kind of show you what this is going to look like. So let's get this little guy turned around. He is heavy, so he is about 15 pounds. Okay. Crap. I probably should have showed you what I'm taking out. All right, let me turn him back around. So what we're going to take out is this whole thing right here, and you will see how amazing he looks. Now, with spatchcocking, there's some people that'll say there's some hard, and you know, there's some hard rules around that. I just feel like as long as you kind of get the bone out and you flatten it out, you're good, but completely up to you. So what I want to show you now, and actually what I probably should be doing is trying to see if I can do it this way so you can see how it's being cut. So it gets a little bit tough because there are some bones, but just try to needle your way through and try to find a place where there isn't really a bone. So this is all bone. Just try to see where can this guy go. Let me see if this side is easier. Watch your fingers, of course, because you know you're kind of cutting through bone. Bone is sharp. And then of course your knife is kind of going in all sorts of edges. Come on, you. I can see. Now, I just started spatchcocking, I would say probably maybe 2 years. So it hasn't been like a ton. So naturally, as you can see, we're learning together. Let me try to see how I can get this guy going. Might actually be easier if I try to go in the other way. Oh, let me try to get this guy in. And so, quick learning tip. Try to make sure the parchment paper is taped down. Otherwise, it's going to be sliding around, and that could be pretty hazardous. So, do as I say, not as I do, basically. There we go. There it is. Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier if you go in this way. As you can see, it's kind of cutting through pretty easily. I know there are some folks that feel very scared about this. Totally get it. I feel like the first time I did it, I really didn't know what I was doing, and I think I actually stabbed myself with a bone. And then I squirted juice in my mouth, so I was not very happy. But the results, guys, the results were amazing. I was able to get in my wonderful marinade inside the turkey, and that was a huge, huge plus for me. Just because I'm really big about flavor. I feel like if something doesn't have much flavor, I'm just immediately, not a fan. So that was a big thing. Another thing is that there's just so many options after you spatchcock something. Like, for example, you can put it in your grill. If you want to have like a Nashville themed Thanksgiving, I don't know if you do themes in your house, but if you do and you want to have a Nashville themed barbecue Thanksgiving, do something fun that way, you can put this on the grill. You can smoke it, and it just makes it easier because it cooks evenly. So just, definitely a lot of options there. Or if you just want to sear it, and just like kind of lay it flat and then put it in the oven, that's an option too. So just a couple options there to think about. This guy is very stubborn, but as you can see, slowly but surely he's coming out. Give me a second. I'm trying not to squirt myself again. Oh boy. You really need to get some strength. Maybe lift a couple of weights before you do this. I kid, but I also not kid. So whatever makes it easier, basically. Come on, little guy. You can do this. All right. We're almost good. So you'll see some of my favorite chefs like Ina Garten, folks like that. They just do this so easily because they've been doing this for like a very long time. For me, it's, obviously taking quite a bit of time, but we will get there. Woo! Not as elegantly as you can see, but ta-da! Here's what you want to get out, guys. Here is exactly what you want to get out. So we're going to go ahead and put this in that bowl that was holding the turkey, reduce down the mess, and voila, here you are. This is what it should look like, guys. This is exactly what it should look like. Now imagine being able to just very easily put your marinade in. Isn't this so much easier? You're going to be able to create an amazing marinade, and then you don't need to worry because your turkey still, looks good. It's not like it looks all deformed now. Another part, which I don't know if I'm going to do this right, but there we are. I don't know if you heard that crack, but basically what you want to do is you want to crack that breastbone. So you can put one hand here, and just press down. I don't know if you guys heard that crack, but there you go. So now you have all this space. I'm gonna wash my hands and then I'm gonna grab the phone so you can see what. All right, guys, here we are. Look at how amazing this looks. So this is what the turkey ends up looking like after you have cracked the bone, taken out the backbone, all that good stuff. Cracked the chest bone and taken out the backbone. This is what it looks like. Of course, completely up to you. I like to leave that red thing in, the thing that you see right there, because it helps me know when the turkey is done. But if you're a pro, completely up to you. You don't need to have that. But now what you can do is you can put in your marinade here. I normally leave the skin, so you can just kind of put in your marinade there and then squeeze it under the skin, flip the bird, and then squeeze, and then kind of put the marinade on the other side. Completely up to you, but I find turkeys delicious if they are very well flavored, because turkey sometimes just doesn't really come with much of a taste. So it's very important to be able to flavor it, and also because it gets pretty dry, make sure that it always stays moist. So I personally like to do butter marinades, and if you are interested in knowing what that is, happy to do a video on that. But here you go, guys. I hope you found this helpful, and I will pass it back to Thad for his announcement or whatever he wants to do. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Take care. Bye.